Johnny, here we are. This is Armstrong's carbine free ride CF2050, a number they've never had before, 2050. Now this is carbine free ride. It's meant for stability, have a lot of lift, be nice for beginners to ride, and you know what? Behind the boat, this is for the big dogs. You weigh 215, 220 and up, this is gonna be your foil. Now John and I don't weigh 220 up, but we're gonna get some bigger riders to ride this. We'll include that footage. One of them, we may just put one 235. We'll get into that later. Now, this design is meant to provide stability as you're riding and nice glide and the ability to pump.
Yeah, it looks like a winner to me. I don't like all the weight discrimination.
I hear you.
Whatnot.
There's no body shaming here, Johnny. Foiling's foiling.
I also don't like, 2050 cm squared. You need a PhD in mathematics to figure out what the hell you're riding. You know, different foil. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's the 90. Why is it so huge? Well, they do it a little different. But what I can tell you, Tim, this is a solid foil, a lot of surface area, but it's thin. So I think it will pump and glide very well. When you say big dogs, Tim, we have a lot of foiling friends that are big dogs.
Yeah, we do.
But I also think little dogs can have a lot of fun riding these larger foils. Yeah. When you get into the wind and you get behind the boat, to have a foil that glides and is stable and holds, what more do you want?
I agree completely. You know, that HS 1850 has been, that's the high speed 1850, has been a ton of fun for wave stealing because the stall speed is so low. Get on a wave and just pivot it. I think on this, behind the boat, our stall speed's gonna be really slow. We're gonna be able to do some fun things. And I think for winging, light wind winging, and we're gonna go to Maui tomorrow, we're gonna wing this thing, and we're gonna test it there. I think it's gonna be great for the light winds. But here, on the lake, behind the boat, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to wake foil.
Well, Tim, I think it's about time that we test this out.
I agree.
The people need the water test.
The people want the water test. Now we're gonna test this out with the 72 centimeter mast, 60 centimeter fuse. We're actually gonna do a 232. You can couple it with the CF300. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. If you have any questions, just give us a call, shoot us an email, we'll help you out. But here's the riding test. All right, so that's us on the CF Carbine Freeride 2050 with the big guy. The big guy here is 6'3", 225 pounds. We have it on the 85 mast. This is what he uses for winging. 70 fuse CF300. What'd you think?
It was great. It was great. At the end, the more I rode it, the more comfortable I got, and it's super loose, super fast. It felt like I was on a smaller wing, like it was. You would have never have guessed that it was bigger than the 1850, which I usually ride. It was really agile, really loose, fast. It's my new favorite piece of equipment.
That's awesome. And then for me, yesterday at 180 and John at 185, you know, we're not quite heavy enough to truly activate this wing. But you'll notice as I was pulling him out of the water at 3-4 miles an hour, this thing's elevating no problem. So I think it's gonna be killer for the lighter guys for light wind foiling. And then for the bigger guys, I think it's gonna give you a nice bit of ride. Thanks, buddy, appreciate it. Johnny,
Tim,
that's the big dog, and that ain't no lie.
it's a big dog. A lot of surface area.
A lot of surface area. And I felt like you had a great tip. I struggled a little bit at first. I took a couple falls.
Tim,
And I think it's because this is for the big dog. And then you had a great recommendation, slide it back a little bit in the track for me, because keep in mind, at least for wake behind the boat, you're looking at that 215, 220 and up.
yeah. Pro tip, if it just doesn't feel right, like what'll happen is if you have too much lift that you're having trouble to find the zone, you can move your feet a little bit on the board. But if you're too far in the mass track, you'll know it, because not only do you have so much lift, but what happens is your turning can get really tracky. I think that's what was happening.
Yeah.
You go to make a turn, this is a big foil, and it was tracking on you, and so it's just not following you around where you need it.
Yeah, and I think that tracking on me a lot has to do, you know, 175, 180, and at least where we had it, I needed to be a little bit heavier.
Yeah, and I told you I had a big weekend, so I put on a few pounds. I didn't have the same initial problem, but I did feel a lot of lift when you first get pulled up.
Oh my gosh.
You're on foil at 2-3 miles an hour.
3 miles an hour, this thing's coming up. It glides really well. It's fun, especially once we moved it back, at least on the Armstrong board, to number 2. Once we moved it back, it felt really good. It, you know, just like the other CFs, very playful and fun. I just had to dial in where that was, and then you saw that pump on the end. This thing will pump a long time because it sinks very slowly.
Yeah, and what it feels like to me, the feel on the CF wings is going side to side, or what I would say rail to rail, but it's really wingtip to wingtip. These are really user friendly. So in other words, I feel like the earlier generation wings, surf wings, maybe because they're curved a little more on the ends and on the tips, when you're rolling them from side to side, can be sometimes unforgiving, or you feel like you have to make effort. With these, it's kind of effortless. You come through a turn, you come back through the turn, you can kind of put these where you need them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So this was the Armstrong CF2050, the free ride. Good wing behind the boat for heavier guys. For wing foiling, this is going to come up in light winds. I mean, it's coming behind the boat. It's coming up 2-3 miles an hour. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, if you have any questions, just drop us a note, give us a call, shoot us an email, and most importantly, get out there on the water and have a great time. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for checking out this video. Take care. You.